tell me what this logo is right here? Golden Arches, McDonald's, perfect. That's exactly right. So, it seems to me these days that there's been other fast food restaurants on the forefront of people's minds when they go out to eat. These restaurants can be like Cane's, Chick-fil-A, or Chipotle. Now, this is a problem as it has McDonald's falling through the cracks. Today, I'm going to prove to you guys why McDonald's is still the #1 fast food chain in the United States due to the widespread of locations across the country, its menu variety, and the bang for your buck that you get when you go to McDonald's. I know you're doubting me, but stick with me here. First of all, we're going to talk about the locations that McDonald's has. According to McDonald's.com, they have 13,884 locations in the United States alone. This is extremely important for a couple of reasons, but first, let's look at the population density of McDonald's across the U.S. Each orange dot represents a McDonald's location. As you can see, they're available in major cities. Or if you're driving down from Dallas to Houston, you're going to probably blow by about 20 different McDonald's. What McDonald's is also extremely good at, though, is putting locations out where you wouldn't expect. For instance, up in the North and South Dakotas, you have locations there. Or smack dab in the middle of Area 51, there's a McDonald's there. This is extremely important for a couple of reasons for consumers. First of all, this supplies lots of jobs. An average McDonald's supplies about 10 to 15 employees per location. If you do the math, that adds up to about 200,000 plus available jobs for American citizens. And these jobs are full of benefits and growth opportunities within them. Now, for the consumer who just wants to eat, it's extremely convenient in many situations. Let's say you're in a major city like Chicago and you just need to get a quick bite to eat for a corporate meeting. You can go to a McDonald's. Or let's say you're driving in the middle of the desert or the country and realize you're starving and there's nowhere else to eat. Guess what's going to be on the side of the highway? A McDonald's. Let's say you're traveling in an airport, you don't want to live off chips or that weird off-brand grill food that they have at the airport. Guess what's probably going to be there? A McDonald's. The McDonald's is so consistent because of the many locations that they have. Next, let's go into the menu options. According to Marketplace.org, one of the leading researchers on restaurants, specifically fast food, there's over 145 different items on the McDonald's menu. This is perfect for the people who want to eat there as it applies to many different diet types and food tastes. So, if you want to eat a Big Mac and feel like a piece of crap after that, you can do that. Or if you're vegan or want to go for something more light like a salad, McDonald's has that too. Or if it's a hot Texas day and all you want is a sweet tea, McDonald's has that in a large size for $1. This is extremely important, and McDonald's is always changing their menu also, which is awesome as it allows us to have and experience new different foods. But at the same time, while they're changing their menu constantly, they're also sticking to their original items they're known for, such as their hamburgers, their famous apple pie, and we all have to admit the best French fries in the fast food market. So lastly, we're going to talk about the bang for your buck that McDonald's gives you. So, there's been a lot of restaurants that have been decreasing their food quality to lower their prices in comparison with restaurants such as McDonald's. The first thing that comes to my mind is a place like Burger King. Their food currently tastes horrible, and it's gone down in quality noticeably, and so has their sales as well. They're trying to live up to McDonald's price and quality and quantity, and it's just not cutting it. This is further proved by a study that was done at Stanford University, where they surveyed people who eat out often and said, what is the #1 restaurant that gives you the best quantity and quality of food for the money that you're paying? McDonald's was the #1 answer. Now, if you're beginning to think this argument is still kind of ridiculous, let me explain to you guys something. Americans, specifically us college students, eat out all the time. In fact, almost 50% of the money that we designate for food is spent on eating out. So, if you're going to be eating out all the time, and heavy users spend up to $50 a week while eating out, you're going to want to eat out somewhere that's worth your time and money. Now, it can be counter-argued, and I understand, Patrick, there's no way that I'm going to spend $50 a week at McDonald's. Plus, McDonald's is noticeably one of the most unhealthy restaurants that you can go to. I completely understand that, but I also want you to consider this. When you go to a place like Chick-fil-A, for example, and you spend $8 on a sandwich meal, you're eating a medium sandwich, a minuscule amount of fries, and a drink with 70% ice in it for $8. For the same price, you can get almost twice as much food at McDonald's. Now, it can also further be argued that eating at a place like McDonald's isn't healthy at all. Well, I hate to break it to you guys, but eating out is unhealthy, period. And if you go to a place like Subway or Chipotle, and you do the calorie calculations on that, you're only going to be having about 100 to 150 calories less than the average meal at McDonald's. So in conclusion, I'm here to tell you guys that McDonald's is still king of the fast food empire. And this is due to the vast amount of locations that they have, which is convenient for consumers who want to eat, people who want jobs. It's also has a wide variety of menu options, which applies to many different diet types and food tastes. And lastly, McDonald's is the best bang for your buck in terms of the quality of the food you're getting and the quantity of the food that you're getting for the money that you're spending. So remember who is king, remember the golden arches. Thank you.
Mercy.